Hey, it's Matthew. So today I'm just going to talk to you about the new book, 0 Point, Ultimate Truth is Love, and just go through some ideas from it because they've been pretty powerful. And what I've discovered is that when you introduce a truth that comes from, the divine, from within yourself, okay, not from out there, but from within yourself, from your intuition, from your spirit man, from, the source of all that is. That's the bread of life. And when it comes, it brings destruction to the error. Okay, whatever is false, misleading, standing in the way of harmony or goodness, it just gets destroyed. And so what I want to teach you that's in this book is that there are techniques that you can do to draw that bread of life out. And so what I've done so far, working with a few of these, because I do 10-day blitzes in each one. That's what they're designed for, is to take you through a blitz and then to redo it again through a new book, and you can kind of evolve along the journey. But I started to write down, the bread here that I've gotten in the moment. And these are all affirmations that have done the job. And so they've been able to bring me out of the wilderness, out of the 5 sense material suffering in the moment. For example, the one that I got today, and what I'm working with right now, just give it to you in like humility here, because we are confronted with new layers and we have to work through them, is there's apparently a human belief of like ragweed allergy or something. The tickle and the sinus and the pollen counts are really high. So I hadn't focused on this in years because I hadn't run into it. But I remember years ago this was an issue, and it would kind of come and go seasonally. And so this idea of seasonal allergies is really a lie standing in the way of truth. And so what came to me today that really helped tremendously is this bread right here. I am set apart, firmly established in perfection forever. I am set apart, firmly established in perfection forever. And so what I'll do with that is whenever the symptom, or whenever the 5 senses, the carnal mind, the left brain, the carnal mind, are picking up its own delusion and saying, oh, look, here's the issue. You feel it. It's there. Then I break that thought. I break my affection towards that false, misleading thought. And I say, I am set apart, firmly established in perfection forever. I am set apart, firmly established in perfection forever. I am set apart, firmly established in perfection forever. Now, to take it a step further, I begin to love and appreciate and praise the Supreme Being, the consciousness of I Am Presence, the one mind that knows no other, that knows no sickness, it knows no disease, it knows no poverty, it knows no lack, it knows no false governance. And I say, praise you, because I am set apart, firmly established in perfection forever. And I begin to radiate love towards that. See? Whatever you love will reward you. And so I begin to love and praise this idea. It's an idea universe. So the bread comes, okay, the solution comes, and the solution is I am set apart, firmly established in perfection forever. Now I love that idea. I send love to it. And as I send love to it, I put my affection on the things of God. So I've taken my affection off the world. Okay, watch my last video about Lazarus and the rich man. And so I'm having fear of the Lord now. See, the Lord that governs all existence. I'm actually taking my affection off the world and giving it back to the Lord. I am set apart, firmly established in perfection forever. This is the truth. Thank you. I love you. Now, I'm not looking to the God in the sky. I'm looking within, to Christ. It's right here. There is no other mind. Thank you. Because I'm set apart, firmly established in perfection forever. And you see, I keep focused on that. And so what that did for me is it took all of this. I was having like an 8 out of 10 scale of, allergy. And it brought it down to like a 2 instantly. The minute that thought came and I spoke that thought and I put my affection on that thought, the suffering diminished from like an 8 to a 2 instantly. So now I'm going to keep working with it until I completely destroy that false stronghold of so-called temptation of whatever that belief is, okay? So that's what you do here. Now, looking at it also, we identify what the fruit of the Spirit is that is behind the demonstration of the harmony that we're seeking. And so for me, it's in this book too, it's faith. And so what I'll do with that is I will go and do a self-entrainment technique and make sure my faith is actually high, 8+, okay? And so from there, I just keep working it until I destroy that lie. And once you have removed fear, okay, once all fear is gone, then consider yourself well. You see, this is really just a battle of moving out of fear and moving into love and trust and confidence that there is only a principle of good. There is only God. You see, once fear is gone, in other words, you're not giving your thought allegiance to some idea that God knows nothing of, didn't create. So therefore you shouldn't fear it because you're giving your affection towards it. That's the opposite of fear of the Lord. So, once the fear is gone, this is what I know. This is just a battle between two forces, fear and love. Fear and love. And so as I completely use the bread of life and the wisdom therein to destroy the fear, once it's gone, then all that is left is the truth, which is love, harmony. God's man is forever in perfect harmony. So I just want to share that with you because that's really what we're doing with the PTT technique. That's what this is all about. And that's why I wrote this book, because it presents you with a whole barrage of truth. It just throws it at you in the chapters that you read. And every time you read it, you see, every time you do a 10-day blitz, you should skim through the book, and whatever jumps out at you, you should highlight it for this time through. For example, if I'm looking at it right now, let's say I'm going to start another blitz. What I do is I just go like this, and this is what jumps out at me. Okay, what jumped out at me immediately is right where I opened it to. It said, I discovered how to break the mind control. That's what it is. Carnal mind control is what tries to suck you into sickness and tries to suck you into the temptation to fall from perfection. By introducing PTT, applying the maxim of law that states how something is bound, it must reverse to become unbound. I talked about this in my last video. Fear, confusion, lack of trust, double-mindedness, and division. That's how we got bound into this conundrum of carnally minded. So, remember, division, right, is the belief in two powers. So if God is all in all, then how can sickness exist, right? Well, if it exists according to you, then you have a belief in two powers, which means you're secretly, not so much secret, but you're fearing. You're fearing. What I have fear has come upon me, see? So as I bring the bread of life to this, and I continue to, go around the walls of Jericho, right? I will bring those walls down. Those are just beliefs, mortal consciousness beliefs. And I destroy them. And once they're destroyed, they're forever destroyed. And so that's what this is all about. And so I use this to keep the truth in the center of my consciousness. I use the technique to destroy every stronghold that tries to come against me with wisdom. And what else could you want? Because it's within you. It's all within you. There's nothing to seek. There's nothing to gain. You already have it all. You just have to use your free will to choose, okay, that which is good. And you have to be willing to put all of your allegiance, all of your, affection towards that. So again, I am set apart, firmly established in perfection forever. Now I give my love and I give my affection to that idea. And then I do it again. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go for a walk and do my daily walk on the pier, and I take my PTT into my walk. So this is when I'm walking around the walls of Jericho, hammering it with truth and bringing that stronghold down. This is what I've done with everything, with finance, with health, relationship. This is my style. This is what I've discovered. This is what has been revealed from within myself that I know works because I've used it for a year now. Ever since I learned it, I used it every day. And it was the one thing that kept me moving the scales from ignorance to truth, ignorance to truth, fear to love, fear to love. And as I tip the scales to more and more and more love, you see, by omission, it gets rid of all of the tentacles of the world that are sucking you down into the pit of hell, into lower density consciousness, into suffering, ignorance of the Father. It's the only suffering there is, ignorance of the Father, showing up in your world for you. You see, the Gnostic Gospel said, okay, it's for you to be the light. Now, devouring matter within yourself. Matter is a belief, a state of carnal mindedness. You're devouring it within yourself. It means you're leaving it. You're ascending out of that consciousness forever. That's the ascension. You're in it. This is a wonderful technique that was revealed to me that will help you ascend out of those lower density vibrations, those tentacles of carnal mindedness. And all you have to do is make a ritual, okay, to shift the scales, to bring the energy over here, to stop falling asleep in the drunkenness of the five material senses, and to stop fearing them. And once you can do that, then you stop reaching for all the fake remedies and all the things of this world, and you know that it's all within yourself, and then you just shift it right over here. And then it starts to raise the floor in your life experience, and the ceiling goes up too. So I could look back and say, okay, 10 years ago when I was bedridden, I had Lyme disease, and I had to learn all this, and I was beginning my journey. My good day would be what I consider one of my worst days now. You see, that's how it works. So now the floor is so much higher that, a really, really bad day for me now is like what a typical day would have been back then, even on the good side, okay? So that's how this works, all right? It's a process, and it can happen instantly, and it can also happen gradually, and some things are instant, and some things take a little longer, but it's all within you. You don't require anything outside of yourself. But you have to make a practice of discipline to go after it and to make it the priority in your life. And once you get the bread of life, once you've learned how to extract these things and see the truth for what it is, then put your love and pour your affection on it. And, do something like what I do. Give yourself the time to go and work the inner game. Okay? Success really is about 90% inner consciousness, development, and maybe 10% outer activity. That's really what it comes down to. Most people spend so much time in outer activity that they really, dissipate all of their energy chaotically, and that creates a chaotic field. And it doesn't have precision. It doesn't have the focus and the clarity necessary to make any kind of substantial life-changing progress. But see, if you can take one idea, one bread of life, and you can focus that one idea towards one single element of error that you're going to destroy in your life once and for all, take it to the game and go into the arena and go after it, okay? Strip it of all of your attention, all the ignorance, strip all of your attention from it. take all of the weight off of the fear so that it just falls out of your life, then what'll happen is, you see, all of that extra energy that you've just freed up, you can now divert it toward what you want. And then you can start to pour love towards that idea. And then once you start doing that, and you start making that the new habit, you've just disassociated from the thing that held you to the carnal mind, and now you are ascending higher into more dimensions of better experiences, because now you've left the pit of hell and you're in the kingdom of heaven. That's how it works. Anyway, that's it for today. I'm going to go do it. So see you next time.